welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to give you another anime review. This time around, we have a doozy. We have Trapped in a Dating Sim, the world of Otome games is tough for mobs. So I'm not going to try to pronounce the Japanese name because I can try. Otome game Sekai wa mob ni kibishi seke desu. That's not that bad. I tried. But yeah, the world of Otome game is tough for mobs, you know. So I'm surprised. I was looking at my catalog of reviews and stuff, and there was an anime a while ago where these style of genre of game like stories have been coming out recently of Otome games where basically they're dating sims, and you get these typical basic of story plots. Usually heroine tries to get with the prince, or royalty, who is already engaged with the villainous bullies the heroine. Then there's an engagement break off and so forth, and then things ensued, right? That's kind of the basics of what these genre of storytelling is. You know, you get the female lead trying to get with the royals or whoever the lead target is, basically. And you know, there's obstacles and there's like a villainous. So there's a couple good stories from the prospects, from villainous, from the heroine, from even the targets. And this one in particular, we are getting the perspective of one of the mobs, one of the background characters. And for sure, this is one of the shows or content that I wanted to look because I was reading it prior. So I had some prior context to this one, and for sure, in the style of this genre of Otome games, I genuinely was hoping to see how they were going to adapt this one. And starting off for my early impressions, I believe they did a good job of trying to display our main lead. What is his name actually? Leon for Bartfort. Or Bartfort. But Leon. And his backstory a little bit is how he gets trapped in this game, basically. And a little backstory of how he knows about the game is apparently his little sister made him try to get all the routes and all this. So that's how he has all this prior knowledge. So that's his story. And when he gets born, or reincarnated, whatever you want to call it, to this world and realize, oh, this world basically sucks for guys, and he has to try to use his knowledge of this world, of the game, to try to live as easy life as possible, right? And his goal is, once he gets into the academy, not to deal with any of the main characters. And you know what? I agree. You know, when dealing with these types of stories, you know, you want to stay away from all that shenanigans because you're either dealing with rivalry battles or the demon lord or some catastrophe. So, you know, more power to him to that's not my thing. To the point where he then gets involved with these characters, and since he played the games, he has all this knowledge of the main heroine Olivia, of the villainous Angelica, and the slew of targets from the prince, his best friend, and all these. It's just this collective. And, you know, you get into these very, very well done moments. For the most part, the art style is pretty clean. Nothing too grand, I would say, to say the least. Animation's fairly up there. It's above average, I would say. Nothing to really scaw about. But, you know, it was watchable. And the plot of the story itself, simple, easy, and very enjoyable. Because here's the thing, Leon's a complete asshole. That's why you love him, because he's an asshole and he's willing to be an asshole. Like, he don't give no shits about anyone else. He just wants to live his life for the fullest. So, you know what? He's using all his knowledge, gains all the high-end equipment in the world to make sure that he and whoever or whomever his future wife will be gets, like, so he can just live a simple life. He don't give no shits. But like I said, since he's a background character and he's just kind of viewing things, he gets somehow mixed in around with the heroine Olivia, and then the whole with the villainous Angelica, because there is, it's not a bit of a spoiler because it's kind of the plot point of the story. There's another individual. Her name is Mari Folafan, or Mari. Let's just call her Marie or Maria. I don't know. It's Mari. Mari, who apparently is also another person with game knowledge and a reincarnator. So she's using her knowledge to get a harem of all the target males, the prince and so forth and so forth. So it completely like complete throws off the entire plot. You know, like the plot should have been, you know, Olivia picks one of the targets, or, you know, gets involved with one of the individuals. Angelica starts messing with her, and then ABC, our heroine Olivia, gets with one of her targets. The villainous Angelica gets her fiance annuls her wedding, all this, and then our mob character Leon should have just lived a simple life out in his private, like, floating island, right? That should have been the plot. But no, Mari completely throws this off, and he knows something's off. He's played all the games, he's played all the routes, and, you know, I like then how he starts slowly getting involved, and he doesn't, like, 100% at all times. It's one of those things when a character, mostly who has a third-party knowledge, is like, something's off, but he doesn't, like, he's not willing to, like, go, like, yeah, I'm gonna take advantage of this and I'll make the main character of Olivia, like, be my woman, or take the advantage of making Angelica his woman. He's just there, and he's doing it actually interesting to do he's trying to help Olivia to try to go back on the route, but the more it happens, it's just this other character of Mare, just completely, like, every turn just. And on top of that, I love how all the other target characters are complete idiots or dimwits, muscleheads. Wonderful. They're like one-note characters. And like I said, this entire scope of this show of our, like, complete asshole main character of Leon doing everything he wants to, and his adventure with Angelica and Olivia to try to make some semblance of a happy future for himself. And it's fun. It's fun because he, like I said, he has all the game knowledge, he has all the top equipment, so everyone in the fucking academy hates him. And so he has very few friends. It's just every woman hates him, so he can't get a wife. It's great. It's a bunch of, and you know what? He doesn't give a crap. He doesn't give shit. He knows people hate him, and he just doubles down. And you gotta love him for that. That's one of the reasons this show, I would say, is good. It's one of those things like when a character is like, "Yeah, I'm good. What are you gonna do about it?" And that's what I enjoy about this show. It's just the plot and how when reading it. So the only other thing I would say is, as far as the plot, they for the most part stick with the plot. Nothing too much changes. Since I already had prior knowledge, I knew a few things were coming up here and there, but you know what? I wanted to see how well it was illustrated. There's a few things I wish they showcase. There are moments that like elevate some of the scenes or give more context. But I'll say this, for what the stuff they took out, as much as it would be interesting more context to a little bit of the world lore and how things work, it truly did. Yeah, for a show with only 12 episodes, like, yeah, you don't really need it, but it'd be cool if it was there. And for the finale, like, it's a 2-part end finale, you know. It's interesting what they did, and I'm glad they took the time to showcase the way they did it. It's one of the few things I was worried to see, because that's kind of would have like slewed my review of this thing in my rating, because I want, like, depending on how they did it, it was like, okay, because you have an idea when, if you have context to it, how the show is going to end. And I felt the way they did these two-part finales in these scenes, like the final act, they did a good job showcasing everything. The story's simple. If you want a main character who, you know, does anything for himself, he's your man. Leon's the man. And some very enjoyable characters, some very emotional moments. One of the few things I really like is, like, how you get some really good moments with Angelica and Olivia. Like, you would think, because for the most part, when you're thinking an Otome game style things, either you're following the villainess or the lead and seeing how that works, and you get some context. They do a reasonable good job here with a mob character who's taking these like main characters and going along with them and getting some more context for them. They do a really good job, I would say. So yeah, nothing else more to say. I'm gonna give this one a solid, I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Like I said, I wish they would have done a little bit more with the world context. It would have helped a little bit more. I think I would have pushed it up to a 9. There was a couple scenes I wish they were, like, they felt like they had moments that they could have been more articulate with, but I think for what was given to us, it's fine. And for sure, we have a feeling that we're going to get a season 2. I'm hoping we get a season 2. I don't see any reason why. The show's been doing well from what I've been looking into. But yeah, I'm going to give them a solid 8 out of 10. So let me know if you guys thought about it. If you were stuck in a video game, would you use all your game knowledge? As always, you can follow me on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram to follow what the next show movie I'm watching. Exactly. Phone. Exactly. So, until next time, see ya. See ya. See ya. See ya.